Welcome back to the Market Wolf. I am the Market Wolf, where I give you the best bear case, the best bull case, and I give you my opinion. We are looking at Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. It is Friday, May 31st, 9:26 p.m. We have not only closed a week coming up soon on Bitcoin, but we did close the week on the S&P 500, and we have closed the monthly candle on Bitcoin and on the S&P 500 as well. As you can see on Bitcoin, to me this just looks like some more downside consolidation. On the monthly time frame, it doesn't look like we're ready to get a real solid break just yet, although it is downside movement here. What we really need to pay attention to is the case for the weekly time frame, and we watch that very closely. And you know, I've been warning you about the momentum on the weekly time frame. And as we are moving into this weekly close on Sunday, we really need to be paying attention to see how that closes out for the week, because that's going to tell us a lot about what is coming. And like I've said, week over week on this bull flag, we've not been looking great. This week, if it continues at the pace that we've been going, also not looking wonderful. On the daily, we still have not gotten above our moving average on the momentum. We've had rejections there, although it is tightening. On the weekly, again, still having rejections off that movement with the momentum to the upside, trying to get past the moving average. It just can't do it right now. And so what I am expecting this week, coming week likely, is let's see, your best bull case is that we just chop more to the side here, roughly between, I would say, about 67,656 and perhaps maybe about 69,873.95 on. And you know, your best bull case is that you would get bullish and get on top of this triangle and actually break out. We won't rule that out as a possibility. If we get a top side of that, we'll keep that in mind. But for right now, I'd be looking at that range on the bull case. On the bear case, I think your best bear case is that you break all the way down to the bottom of this symmetrical triangle here at some point. This is actually, yeah, like I consider that a giant symmetrical triangle at this point, not really so much a bull flag. These are our old bull flags in here. And so my opinion is I think we're going to see, definitely a revisit probably at about $63,595.83, somewhere in that range generally, where we see this uptrending line. I think we could have a break there. Probably a pretty hard break to there, and then possibly get support. I'm really leaning towards the bear case as well, though, because there's just so much confluency down here in this area around 59,044.07. You have the uptrend here for the symmetrical triangle. You have the 20-day sneaking up. You have your old levels here with the bull flag as well that were old supports there. So I'm really thinking somewhere in that range, probably somewhere between 60,178, 63, and about 59,044.07, possibly in the cards. We'll have to see, in my opinion, once we get down here this week. More than likely, we'll have to see where we go. Now, this could be downside consolidation. Chop is very hard to call. I'm very rarely wrong, but this is one of those instances where it's possible that Saturday, or Saturday, and then going into Sunday, we suddenly just get a lot of oomph out of nowhere, and then we could see things change with this current candle that we're looking at right now, and then I might change my opinion on that in a couple of days. But right now, yeah, I'm thinking that's my opinion there. Let's look at the S&P 500 because it ties into Bitcoin, and this is very important to take a look at. The weekly on the S&P 500, on the daily, we had what looks like a very strong close off of both of our bull flags here, essentially what we've been in here, and there's this area of confluency that it hit here at, I don't know, about $522.54, and then we just got a little bit of a lift off again. However, on this weekly close, we actually are having slightly more exiting volume, and I still consider this weak right now. This move up right now is still weak. And so on the S&P 500 here, we can very easily be looking at a fake out breakout. Now, is it possible for it to go higher? Yes, but I think if we go higher from this point and we don't break down here first to the base of this, to both of these bull flags essentially, or maybe even a little further, if we don't do that, then, maybe maximum, it's possible you could finish this entire measured move. It really is. It's possible to $561.31. I think it's unlikely, but I think it's possible. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Let's say that. I would suspect that you might actually just get up to about 540 and then break down from there. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking right now on the S&P 500. And of course, this is just consolidation on the weekly time frame as of now, but the problem is that downside momentum is doing the same thing on the S&P 500 as it's done on Bitcoin. We're seemingly being rejected by this moving average. You've got the blue price there being rejected by the moving average, and then historically, after you've been on these highs, oftentimes nothing good happens after that rejection. That doesn't mean that we can't chop there. It certainly has happened in the past, but remember, Bitcoin is going to follow this, and if you hold sell, Trios, Quant, whatever, if we see a major breakdown in momentum, that means everything else is coming down, okay? S&P 500 will bring down Bitcoin. Bitcoin will bring down everything else. So this is why we are paying close attention to the S&P 500. Of course, you could be looking at the dollar as well, but I find that the dollar, overall, I don't really need to look at it because the S&P 500 pretty much tells me everything I need to know about what the dollar is doing, and also just looking at gold as well. I do have it charted out. If you're interested for me to go over the dollar, I can do that. So just let me know if you are interested in that. Prices on these coins. I want to start with Trios, and let's just see where we're at since the last video release. So yeah, we're still waiting to hit the base there on Trios on that triangle. That may or may not happen. Let me look at the 30-minute time frame and see what I'm thinking here. Yeah, highly likely we're coming down exactly where I said we were. It's going to take maybe a little bit of time to get there, but yeah, just like the last video, I think we're coming to this level right here, maybe about $7.44 or so. Okay, let's take a look at sell. Sell is really pushing hard, really pushing hard to maintain the 68.89 level, and that's exactly what we want to see. I told you that I do expect some break to the downside, I believe, on the last video. I can't quite remember. I think I just told you. I don't think I gave my opinion on the last video. If I did and I was wrong, just let me know. I may not be wrong yet, but yeah, because my cases are not like really day to day. It's more of like on a 3-day to weekly time frame. Here's what I'm usually talking about. So yeah, it could still break down to 68.89 or beyond. So yeah, we'll leave it at that for now, but that's the level to watch, sell. And one thing I am impressed with, though, is just the ability of sell to hang on. I think we got a lot of hodlers over here, and yeah, we really don't want to turn this into a reverse head and shoulders. It looks like we really want to fight that as hard as we can, and The sell squad is doing an excellent job of hodling and holding. Let's take a look at Quant. Yeah, so Quant is generally still in the same downtrend. Looks like we're having a little consolidation right now. Maybe we will try to get a little umph here coming up soon. But if we break down below that 20-day on the 30-minute again, I would expect yeah, further downside, right? And I'm sure on our higher time frames we might look a little bit like that. You see, we have a lot of buyers, like a lot of pre-orders set around the $89 range. So that's something to keep in mind if you're a buyer of Quant right now. That's interesting, and it looks like that same range held back here too at about $89. Now the interesting thing here is we actually had a more massive sell-off and not as much incoming there, but right here a lot of people, I guess, considered that a double bottom, and they really bought there at that 89 level. So I'm thinking you're coming down likely. Your next wick down like that would probably be right here, $88, like I said in my last video, somewhere in that range, maybe a little lower. Okay, so did we look at Trios? Yes, we did. Looked at all that stuff. Okay, yeah. Well, that's your best bear case, bull case, and what you should be looking for the week. I'm going to keep you posted on that momentum on the S&P 500 and also the momentum on Bitcoin. We're going to hit a point. Again, I'm reiterating this. We're going to hit a point, and I will let you know when that point is, where we have a solid break, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to check it right now and see if I consider any of this a solid break. I don't consider this a solid break yet. I still consider this potential consolidation, but it's something we're going to have to watch. Let me take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, we have to take a little bit more seriously here as a potential total breakdown. So we have to be very, very careful here. Yeah, I almost think Bitcoin is putting in a more solid break. And so that causes me concern in the long term for a breakdown to that bear case I suggested, where all this confluency is. And then maybe a little bear flag, and then it's a total loss, total breakdown. We would have to see once we hit that point. That's not something that's certain, but it's something we'll have to look when we get to this points of confluency. If I'm right about us breaking down to that area. Remember, my base case is a breakdown up here, but I do lean towards this as being a serious possibility. So that's your best bear case. That's your best bull case. That's my opinion. Please subscribe. Please share. I need the shares, because if I don't get shares, I can't keep scratching your back if you don't scratch mine. We've got to get our numbers up there on the subscribers on both YouTube and over on X. So please share this with your friends that look at Bitcoin and any other cryptocurrency, really, and just let me know which cryptocurrency do you want to see, and I will run a chart on that. We will see you next time on the Market Wolf.